It wasn't caused by war. It wasn't a natural disaster. It was a famine, created by human hands. Between 1959 and 1961, China experienced the deadliest famine in modern history. And the death toll? Estimates range between 15 and 45 million people. This is the story of how one government policy led to mass starvation and silence. In the late 1950s, Chairman Mao Zedong launched an ambitious campaign, the Great Leap Forward. The goal? To rapidly transform China from an agrarian society into an industrial superpower. Steel production was prioritized. Backyard furnaces were built, but food became secondary. Farmers were ordered to abandon their fields and melt down tools. Crops rotted, fields were mismanaged, and nature wasn't to blame. The system was. The government introduced collectivized farming. Private land ownership was banned. People worked in large communes where food was distributed by the state. Officials reported false harvest numbers to impress Mao. As a result, Beijing demanded larger grain quotas, so even less food stayed in villages. The countryside was drained, warehouses were full, but the people were starving. Entire villages began to die out. People boiled tree bark, mud, even leather shoes. In some regions, cannibalism was reported. Parents abandoned children they couldn't feed. Children buried parents who had starved to death. The government denied it. Speaking of the famine could get you imprisoned or executed. And so, millions died in silence. In some provinces, 1 in 3 people disappeared, not from disease, not from war, but from policy. Official Chinese data is vague, but independent researchers estimate between 15 to 45 million deaths. Some say it's the single largest non-war human disaster in history. The famine was so severe, birth rates plummeted and suicide rates spiked. It left scars on an entire generation, psychological, cultural, and physical. If such a famine happened today, satellites would detect dying crops. Social media would explode with footage. International aid would be mobilized in hours. But in 1960s, China, there was no internet, no outside observers, no escape. The silence was total, and millions were erased from history. The Great Chinese Famine wasn't caused by nature, but by ambition, denial, and fear. It's a warning from the past that even the greatest powers can destroy their own people, not by war, but by bad decisions.